Hello, hello. Greetings, everyone. Finally back for Coffee and Val. I've been away for 3 weeks. I'm so sorry about that. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes for some people to log in while I make sure the lighting. I'm sorry, there were a couple minutes of delay. Hey, Susie, thank you for being here. Just trying to check the lighting. I'm actually going to put my glasses on today. Hello, hello. Happy Monday to everyone near and far, whether you hear this now or later. Susie, where are you right now? Can you let me know? Thank you for being here. It's an honor to have you. And 3 weeks away, traveling and just focusing on what I needed to do to end the year, and now of course wanting to still show up live today despite of some side roads that I had to take, and just get on with this beautiful topic that we chose today, and it's life lessons through emotional times. Susie, will you let me know if the audio is good, if the image is clear, so I can go ahead and start. I know these lives will be recorded, so we will leave them here to whomever needs to benefit from them. And I'm trying to just make this computer stay straight. Maybe Susie can't hear me. Okay, so I just want to tap into these emotional times. I believe that is not just myself. I've had multiple conversations with friends near and far, and just November, December seems to bring a lot of emotions rising up to areas that we might not feel as comfortable about. I'm not sure who just came in with Jay Gastrox, but thank you for being here. If you could tell me where you're following from, I appreciate it. And I'm going to go straight to the topic because it is by far needed right now in these emotional times. And it's called, once again, Life Lessons Through Emotional Times. And why is it that these times tend to get so emotional, right? Because of all the cultural beliefs, and during these seasons of greetings and family. Well, as we know with life, we tend to shift our belief systems, who we are attracted to, or in fact, even what family really means to each one of us. And it's really hard as a coach that I've seen in different coaching sessions and just coming lives and doing seminars and interacting with the people live in different workshops. It's really challenging for a lot of people, and it was for me as well, to actually just simply come up raw, vulnerable, and express to your loved one, to your friend, really, really deep down what you're feeling, what you are believing at the time, what you actually want to do, right? Because a lot of times we continue to do things against our own will, just to avoid a conflict, or just to, do the check mark that we need to be in X celebration or a gathering or reunion that we are really not feeling comfortable with. But I can tell you for a fact that through life situations, and the more I do this inner work with myself and with my clients, the more authentic we show up for ourselves, the more we just be raw, vulnerable, and honest. Authenticity comes with honesty, and just, be raw and just say, I'm really not available to come today. And actually, I was in a conference probably a month ago with Bruce Lipton and Dr. Bruce Lipton. And I asked him that question because he was like, just don't show up where you don't want to show up. And he was saying some examples that when he was in the university, he had these meetings that he had to go to. And finally he said, I cannot show up. It was a Saturday. He worked all week. And he said, it's not like you have to lie. They're not asking you why you're not showing up. You just simply can't show up. You have other plans. What are your other plans? Sitting on the couch, reading a book. But that's not something that you want to fully disclose, because we feel bad. We feel like we have to give all the reasons behind it. But a lot of times we get ourselves into more trouble than we are actually needing to, because we tend to give more information. I am hoping the volume is good. Let's see. Okay. So in these circumstances, just simply thank the occasion and simply to say, I'm sorry, I'm not available, and start tuning into what your heart wants you to do. Now, there's two differentiations that I want to bring out today. One is the actual moment where you are just avoiding a situation, of a life situation, or a situation that could be an opportunity for you to grow, and just kind of hide beneath your sheets and not show up. And there are situations that you're just really understanding the shift of consciousness that you are going through, and you're just wanting to tap into that growth and say, Christmas doesn't really mean this to me anymore, or I don't have to show up for a certain reunion with family members that really are not in the highest vibration for my soul at this time. So whatever it is that you are going through, whether it's only in these holidays or whether it's just in your life, how the way we as human beings are evolving, we will, what happens is we start not to fit in many circumstances. And what do our loved ones say? Oh, you've changed. You're not the same. And if we are a little broken or vulnerable or in a low vibrational state, we tend to justify or actually feel it as an aggression. I used to feel that way when people were like, oh, you've changed, because depending on how people tell you, ooh, you've changed, you take it very personally. Thank you so much for being here, Jenny and Natch forever. And we are talking today about life lessons through emotional times. So when is it that we feel comfortable when somebody tells us, ooh, you've changed? And you can honestly just look at them and say, thank you for noticing that. That is what life is about, evolution of self and growth. Thank you for noticing that. Instead of trying to justify ourselves, no, or you've changed, no, you don't understand me, and just pick a battle because we are in low vibration. So this life is really just to tap into our own inner self, to know that the evolution that we are having, the change, the shift of consciousness must be. And if people are noticing it and are not tapping into where you are heading, still give yourself the opportunity to continue your path, because many times we stop our growth. And I'm going to raise my hand on that one, when I used to take that very personally and be questioning where I'm going, and perhaps stifle or slow down my growth because of the interesting point of views of others. So in this particular life, I just want to empower you to continue your path of awakening. And when somebody tells you, you're really changing, this is not like you, this is not what you used to say or do, take it as a compliment and just let that other person thrive or rise based on how you react. It really, this life lessons that keep on shifting. I mean, I turned 50 this year, and everything that I had in terms of a paradigm of what life was, what family was, what even this whole topic that I'm pretty keen on speaking about, which is parenting, it continues to shift because also life changes, the world changes, and our own children change. And so our belief system of what parenting should be completely doesn't fit in anymore. So it is okay to be shifting. It is okay to be recognizing that you are not fitting in and not feeling lesser than, because all of a sudden Christmas comes around and you just feel like, hibernating and watching maybe Christmas movies or just, taking it easy this year. It doesn't make you less of a family member. It doesn't make you less caring. It actually is a very loving way to show up with what you want to do for yourself. And when you have the courage to do that, really, life definitely takes you to a different direction that you have never even tapped into. So I want to actually read a couple of yesterday I did a post. I wonder if I can get in here while actually live. I think I can. And I was talking and sharing a lot of different point of views of how live has changed to my own belief system. Let me see if it might not allow me to look at it. Let me see. Yes. So these are some of the points that the myths in life that have shifted for me. And then I had some people add some other ideas. So I said, family is not always blood related. We keep on thinking that it has to be blood, but in fact it's not. Family is not always there for you. And it's okay because they're doing their own shift of consciousness. And so what we're allowing ourselves to be, we need to allow our loved ones to do as well. Lessons are not always learned in books and courses. The best ones are taught in the streets with the most vulnerable people. And I can testify for that. People do change and it's okay. Mental illness is real and it must be respected. You can be in your highest at one point and one little situation can take you to your lowest low. And I can also testify for that. And if you are feeling that at some point, know that it happens more often than we would like it to, but it is so important to raise your hand and ask for help. And that's one of the other points. When you ask for help, it's an act of courage actually. And just don't allow yourself to get to that moment where you once were, that can really shift you to a dark place or to a place that really doesn't allow you to see your highest high or to see light between your darkness. And my brother just joined. Jorge, thank you for being here. And he can testify as well. We must keep our heads up. And for me to be here live, I definitely put all my effort because I don't think I shared much on Instagram, but I did have a motorcycle accident before I went in my last travels. And I'm still recovering from that. And these holiday spirit has been tapping into a different area of my soul that I had not tapped into before. And while I am feeling vulnerable, I am being honest to my loved ones. And I've just, for example, told my family I'm on call. I will say last minute if my spirit is up for joining this particular Christmas. And I may come, I may not come. And it has nothing to do specifically with what others are shifting and changing. It's how much I'm honoring myself and how much I want to be legit to doing this practice of showing up for myself and being vulnerable. The other aspect that we talked about is a complete stranger can become your biggest supporter and friend and play a key role in your life. And this is beautiful. How much are we allowing ourselves to be open to people that we don't know, that we just met? In fact, I'm going to quote my friend Shibra that I just met in London. And when she came back, she had to go into surgery. We barely met. I mean, through 5 days, 6 days being in London. And she's been spot on calling me from her hospital bed to check on me. So how much are we really open to bring new energies, to bring new frequencies into our life, new people that might not make sense how close you feel to them or how much you're already loving them. And because we are told that relationships are built through time and through circumstances, but I've seen that when you're just allowing yourself to be and letting your heart and the love frequency shine through without putting a title, without putting an expectation or a formula on it, is really when you get to meet the most amazing people. The other aspect that we talked about is illness is not always due to genes. In fact, most of the times it's not. So quoting back to the conference that I went with Dr. Bruce Lipton, based on scientific studies, we know now that 99% of our illness is due to stress and environment, and only 1% is genetic. So I keep on repeating this and I'm still wowed by it. It's insane how much we can actually avoid these illnesses when you are in a safe place, when you are in a high vibration, and when you have the vulnerability to raise your hand and ask for help. Because as we talked about at the beginning of this live, you can go from your highest highs to your lowest low in a millisecond. A conversation you heard, something that you saw, a betrayal that you found out about, whatever it is, you could be like, I'm the champion of the world, to I don't want to live anymore. And this drastic mindset and this shifts of vibration in such a shocking way. From, it's like frequency, like energy. If you go from a high voltage and all of a sudden cut it down to zero, I mean, it usually causes defects on your different objects that you have with electricity. So it happens within our inner self. So we have to really be sure to raise our hand or do anything within our own skill set to gradually, you know, tone it down to be vulnerable and see where we are, but not have these shocks of frequencies that are so hard to get back on. Exposing yourself to unhealthy environments will backfire and bring you consequences. So going again to being strong enough. Thank you, Rami, for being here. Being strong enough to say today, you know, I love you. And I was really looking forward to come and seeing you. Something shifted and I won't be able to come. Something shifted. It's the truth. You're not saying a lie. You don't have to explain what shifted. What did Dr. Bruce Lipton say? Don't start a fire. Don't throw logs to start a fire when it's not even needed. Just something shifted and you cannot show up. You can love someone you just met, or in fact love somebody that you haven't even met. How many people, I can raise my hand on that one. A lot of the people I met in London for the first time, I've had a relationship of service through, you know, through the screen. And when I met them physically, it totally felt like it was somebody that I had already built a relationship, and it feels so good to hug them. And in fact, some people I haven't hugged, and I can truly testify that I love them. So it's beautiful to deconstruct every single limited belief. In fact, what a beautiful exercise it would be that before the end of the holiday, we can take it into the task to, for example, put family, and then slow down on it and see what comes up. What is that immediate thought that comes up around family? I don't know, oneness, love, betrayal, whatever it is, and just write down the word. What does it mean for your partner, friendship, whatever it is? Just do a whole list of all the things that you can have an interesting point of view about, or actually a construction of thought around a particular topic, and see how you can deconstruct that from what you are truly believing to what you were told before, and go down and live your own truth. This is what it's. I truly believe that the best happiness is when we are living our own truth, even if no one understands it, but that we're just showing up vulnerable and honest to ourselves. And you can actually look at this list of the different myths of life in a post that I did yesterday. And I'm going to add one of my friend G. Barrios. She says, it is not always good to help someone who has not asked for help. We all have our own process and we are not heroes. So this is beautiful as well, how we sometimes want to help when we are not needed, and we can stifle the growth of the other person and actually, hold their process and really undo perhaps a beautiful evolution of self by us trying to just be helpful. So be very mindful of that. I'm here trying to see the other comments because actually my brother had a really good one. Here he is. It says, out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. That is completely true. The most massive characters are seared with scars. So I just want to come here shortly today to awaken a new part of you, or perhaps it's already awakened and you just needed someone to give you that push to continue to live your own truth and to continue to just allow these feelings to pass, but definitely be strong enough, be brave enough to raise your hand and say, I'm feeling really sad and I'm not feeling safe of where this feeling or these emotions at this time are going. So it's not only because it's this is season to be jolly. No, you don't have to be jolly. You don't have to fit in with all these customs and traditions, cultural traditions and family traditions. It's never lose a beat to really allow yourself to continue to grow, whether it's big steps, little steps, whether you're just even recognizing that you had the courage for me today to show up live, despite I wanted to stay a little longer in bed. And it's good to also push ourselves to continue to show up. So thank you for those that are here. Thank you for those that will listen later. And I'm happy to be back with Coffee with Vals. It happens every Monday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Only if I'm traveling or I have a seminar. No is a perfectly valid answer. Absolutely. My brother Jorge, who's in Costa Rica, it actually feels good. No used to feel really, well, I'll speak for myself. It was hard to say no. But now every time I said, no, thank you, I'm going to honor what I'm feeling today, and I'm just not coming over. It feels beautiful when you actually say it from a place of love, where there's no need to be harsh or make the other person feel bad. So definitely no, it's okay to say no. So thank you for those that are being here. Thank you for showing up or listening to this later. If you feel this is of contribution to you or somebody needs to hear this, please pass it on. And until next Monday, enjoy this week and in your own version, whatever this holiday jolly season means to you. And I just wish that you can find what makes you happy, that you can find your own path by sharing when you want to share and being in your cocoon when you want to be in your cocoon, and just being able to tap in to always being in a safe place. Safety is a must. It is so sad how the statistics of suicidal rates keep on going off the chart. I know the latest Twix, I don't even know how to pronounce the guy who used to work with, what's her name? DeGeneres. He was the life of the show. He's always dancing, choreographer, singing, laughing, and unfortunately, he took his life, I believe, this week. So Ellen, that's right, Ellen DeGeneres, that's her name. And it's almost shocking how the people that have shown up on camera and have shown a path that seems like so beautiful, nobody is exempt from this moment of once in your lifetime at least have that thought or attempt on your life. So there's no need to do that. Please raise your hand. There are now so many tools, so many venues, so many people that, absolutely. An untreated depression is a silent assassin. Absolutely. There's not one single person on this earth that does not need healing, that does not need someone. In fact, even myself, that I'm 3 times coach and I'll do all these beautiful things for a living, I definitely constantly tap into my own circle of love, coaches, and family. And speaking of my brother, we weren't very close at all, and now he's my go-to person. So be open to shift the way you have relationships, not only with your family, but with people around you. And also, this year was a shocker to me because a couple of people that were like so close to me, friends-wise, like as a friendship, completely are no longer in my life. And while I did acknowledge the pain, I was okay to finally say, our cycle has ended. This relationship has an expiration, and I don't have to dwell on it deeper than what it is, and just focus on the beautiful life that we live together, and open a frequency and an energy for a new person to come in. Everything has an expiration, even relationships. Those that last forever, beautiful. But there are a lot that are okay to say, just thank you for the week that we were together, for the 20 years we were together, and just always close cycles in peace. You don't have to be showing or validating. You don't have to be validating. No, it was you, me, or really, I didn't mean to do this. If the person is completely shutting you off and closing, tap into that vibration, be thankful, and just close the chapter. And on that note, I'm going to now close this live so that you can enjoy your Monday and do whatever you are called upon to do. Remember that it is okay to shift. It's not only just okay, it is a must that we shift and grow. So if those people around you are not recognizing you, it's a beautiful way of knowing that you are shifting. And when they are shifting in consciousness and they can recognize your light is, and it's beautiful to see how your light will spark something in them to also shift or not, and just move on with your life. Honor it, be vulnerable, be genuine, be congruent, and the more you tap into this way of living, I'm telling you, even in the darkest moments, you'll find some sort of branch, string, invisible, energetic field to pull on to keep on going. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for showing up, and have a beautiful, beautiful day.